Hello and welcome to the show. I'm here on GTA 5 with a build. I haven't done one of these for a while, really. You can see we've got 3 monster trucks sat over here. Mine will be the black and orange one. Husky's will be the black and red one. And I decided to give Daniel the pink one, just for reasons of funny. Now that I figured out I could spawn these in a deathmatch, I can actually do some stuff that I wanted to do before. I don't know when they updated it so that you could. I know when they came out I couldn't get them to work, but now that they're here, I'm going to blooming use them. So one thing I wanted to do is create a Monster Jam arena. So this is the area I picked out. It's quite hard to find an area. I know we've used this airfield quite a lot. Well, mainly because it's a big flat area that we can build stuff on. There isn't another area quite this size that I can use, really. We can't spawn stuff in at the military base. We can't spawn stuff in at the airfield, the airport. That's the one. I know what I'm talking about. The main airport. So this is the place that I have to use. Everywhere else, I mean, there are areas, but they're all very, very hilly. And for kind of like the Monster Jam arena-y style thing that I want to do, I want a kind of a blank canvas, if you like, to work on. For those of you who haven't seen Monster Jam, etc., it's basically an arena where you get 2 minutes to kind of string. I think it's 2 minutes. I'm not sure. Where you have to string together stunts, and then judges award you some points, and whoever does the most stylish stuff wins, basically. And I'm going to try and create an arena for us to work in. Now, we're going to want plenty of jumps, and we can build in jumps. I mean, we don't have a huge amount of stuff. I mean, we have sort of different heights of jump, so we can have these small jumps, we can kind of do like little bumpy bits, but that's not really going to do much for a monster truck. These are useless for, actually, just had an idea. These are quite useless for a monster truck, unless you were to have them, unless you could have like a, oh, that's an interesting idea. Sorry, I've just had a great idea. I say great idea. You see, you can't use this as a ramp for a monster truck, it's far too narrow, but if you were to have one, say, here, and then say here, that might be a little bit too wide. Maybe like that-ish. And then you could have containers along here, and you've got to try and drive. Usually they don't do this in I'm working with what I've got here, okay? I'm trying to come up with ideas with the little stuff that I can do. And then we would have like containers along. They're not great containers, that one. Have we got any? Oh, that's kind of quite a high step up onto that. I'm thinking of having like a rail sort of thing that you've got to try and balance going on. These are the best containers. I'm very, very aware of the prop limit that I have to work with, so I've got to be a bit careful with this. So if you were then to have containers like this, and then you've got to try and balance the truck along them, sure. Well, I'll have to try that in a minute to see if that works. I'm not entirely sure that is going to work. It might not be. Oh, the wheels might not go up the little what's-it-majigs over there. And then that could be, I'm just trying to think of obstacles. That's actually not what I intended to do, but it could work. Now, we're going to go give this a quick test to see if a monster truck actually can kind of fit up and climb that. The one thing I've got to remember, I am playing this in a deathmatch, which means that every time I go test it, there will be random people shooting at me. So if I have to try and put the spawn points far enough away so that the random AIs it dumps in don't start shooting up the trucks and ruin me testing. If they shoot out the tyres, it's not going to exactly be a very good test, which means we have a long run over to the trucks. Now, you might have noticed I have a ramp for the trucks. They don't need to go over a ramp, they could just drive around the sides. I'm not going to fully enclose the area because that just uses up props, and I only have 50 to work with. I think the ramp could make an interesting entrance for you. It made it a bit more exciting to start your run if you go over a big ramp rather than just kind of crawling around the side. Right, we shall get into my one. Now, have I built that over there right? That is the question. Radio is off. Good. And this bit here is fine. We can take a big jump, woohoo, into the arena. That's far too far apart. Whoopsie. Will a wheel go up? Ooh, I don't think a wheel will. Gah, that's disappointing. It won't do it. It won't do it because it's always going to hit on that bit there. Oh, that's okay. That doesn't work. It was worth a try. We'll have to go for more traditional monster truck obstacles. Now, I have figured out one way I can kind of get around the prop limit in a little bit of a sneaky way by spawning in drivable cars. I believe they count they don't count as props, they count as vehicles, and there's a separate limit for them. So I can spawn in cars to be crushed, because of course that is an important part of, of monster trucking. Right, well that's not going to work. I could use ramps, but sorry, I'd rather go for some big jumps. Okay, now if we're going to be jumping into the arena over this side, we won't go for really big. I mean, we have got a sizable arena for the trucks, so we can get some speed up. I'm hoping we may be able to get some backflips going on, perhaps off some obstacles. I mean, we were managing to do it off the dirt at the rallycross course, but I'm not sure. And what we could perhaps do is if we were to have these. I don't know what on earth will happen if we were to have. Let's say, actually, what we could do is, say we have on this side, we have mostly sort of obstacles to be driven over, and that side to have some jumps, and then maybe have a jump that goes across the middle section. That could work. That could work, actually. So if we jump into this side, and we were to have perhaps some... Oopsie, if we have this down here, and then we were to have a ramp in front of it. I wonder if we were to put a ramp... We want... don't want that. We want one of these. If we were to put a ramp in front of this, because it's not high enough, I wonder if we can bounce off... Like, if you could use it to bounce off the train carriage and do a flip, perhaps. Oh, no, whoopsie. That might be interesting. I'm not going to test out all of these ideas, so I have a huge advantage. For when it comes to the actual run, I think that could work. You know, I mean, that's certainly a possible way. You could at least do something interesting. Who knows how well that'll work? But yeah, I think that will do something. I don't know how well it will do something, but it will do something. We can have some wreckages. Where's Rex? Is it called Rex? Oh, it is called wreckages. There we go. Well, we can put these around. I don't know how much. Model memory may also become a problem at some point. Oh, we could have some buses for you to try and climb over and do some things. I don't know. Can we? Probably can't quite get up to the bus. If we put like a line of buses along here, and then have sort of the wrecked cars in front of it, I wonder if we can climb up on top of it. It might that could be a thing. That's probably enough buses for us. And then if we were to have a wrecked van, maybe sitting along. Oopsie, that's a little bit too far zoomed in. Sitting along here, you could certainly climb up that and then onto the buses, and then you may be able to bounce it off one and try and get kind of like a wheelie going on. Yeah, I quite like that. And then we might have a ramp at this end, so that if you want to then come back and try and jump over everything, you can do. Where am I going? I'm looking for ramps. Here we go. Yes, we'll use this one over here. Okay, so yeah, then you have the option of you could not go for... Oh, crap. The downside with a monster truck is that these ramps are not big enough for a monster truck. You have to place two of them. So I'm going to try and make sure I get it central for the pair of them, not central for just one. That's kind of close enough, I think. Sure, it'll do. We're going to put... I want to get... If we're going for a big jump, perhaps we could have the ramps here. You've got to be aware it's going to take time for the monster trucks to get up to speed. So perhaps if you went for a big sort of ramp here, there we go. You could try and jump over the rock pile in the middle. You can go rock crawling even with the monster trucks over the bit in the middle if you want, and try and get the things to do something interesting. Well, that kind of makes sense. This area. I know what we could do for this area. And this is where we're going to be starting off. So, oh, Priuses! Yes, Priuses must go in here. This is the landing zone for the initial entry. If people, if any of us choose, well, I suspect all of us will choose to use it, especially if we have a line of Prius along here for you to run over. We may have to reset this after each run. That's okay. It's a bit of a fiddle, but there we go. So you go over the jump, and then you can land on the Prius. That's a good start to any run. Landing on them. Okay, so we've got a big ramp over here for jumping of rocks. Now, what else do we want? I wonder if we can use car. I definitely think we can use these to climb up on the buses. I wonder if we can use cars to climb up onto a cabin kind of thing. Props. Here we go. If we were to have one of, say one of these, I wonder if we could use a car to kind of bounce the front of it up. As Husky was saying when we did the monster truck rally, you know, if you could flip off one of these, it would be kind of cool. We'll put it up this end where there's not going to be much else going on. We'd have this along here. I guess we'll only have one then. We're not going to fit too wide. So if we would have this in the arena, actually wait, if we If we give it a bit more space, we can jump back over the other side. So we can make the most use of the space we have. If that makes sense, I hope it does. So then we want, do we want proper vehicles? If we would have a line of proper vehicles along here, like sometimes the damage system can be occasionally strange. Oh yes, we will have we will have country boats. Sometimes cars actually get crushed. The damage model shows them as being damaged or be crushed. Other times it's a little bit funny about it. Okay, maybe we will have to just slightly reshuffle these to fit them all in, make it look a little bit neater. Of course, nothing ever fits quite properly. That'll do. So you can if you could bounce the front of the truck up on these and then flip it off the container. It's a possibility. Oh, can we actually put cars on top of the thing? Nah, I was expecting it to be blacked out, that it wouldn't like that. Like there we go. Like it wouldn't let me, but it's disappointing. Okay, and then we could have a jump perhaps over here. Just for sakes of... Actually, what about if we had a... Oh, why am I looking at them? That's not what we want. We want props. We could... I'm going the wrong way for round. There we go. We could go for like a jump at this sort of angle. Sure, why not? We could kind of... If we wanted to, you could kind of try and jump. You're not going to have a huge amount of run-up for that. But if you want to give it a go... That looks like certainly a plausible kind of thing. You could try and go for a jump, and if you don't get enough speed, you'll fluff it up and land on the rocks, and it'll look bad. Okay. Now what we're going to do over here, we're going to do a big sort of a jumpy thing somewhere. What we could do is if we were to have some more, should we go for another car crush perhaps? So we'll have a line of ramps along here. We're actually doing pretty well for model memory. We're about halfway on the model memory, and we've still got a few props left. We're starting to run out, as I feared. There we go. And there's a little bit of a gap in there. I mean, we're on a monster truck. That shouldn't be a problem, that gap. I could probably put it a little bit closer. Can we? Ooh, just tease it. Small bits. Small movements. I think there's always going to be a little bit of a gap there, just the way the terrain is. I think it might also be slightly twisted. Oh, for God's sake. Right, that's better. That's perfectly straight. That can go there. Then we can... no, wait, that's slightly... Oh, God. Can't line things up. Save me life on here. It's because when you spawn in, it's slightly above the ground, so when you think it's lined up, it's not... Oh, that's terrible. And that's solid. This is going to have to do. Okay, fine. And then we can have a landing zone somewhere over here with some more cars. Yes, that should work. We could go for... I'm just thinking, can we go for... Yes, do you want to play with it? Oh, this could make for a spectacular scene. It could blow up the truck. It could make for a spectacular scene, though. Whoever goes first. No, we won't use exploded roadie trailers. We'll use a police car. Yes, we shall scatter police cars around. What are the choices? What vehicles should we crush? I won't use one of them. What have we got in the way of rubbish mobiles? What else have we got in compacts, actually? Oh, we shall crush some smart cars. Unfortunately, they're not really that big of a landing zone. Coupes, anything? They're all too nicer cars for me to... This'll do. There we go. These are suitable destruction cars. Again, I think we'll go for a too long line, if that makes sense. That wasn't very well said. Oh, bugger it. Who cares? And then you can go for it. You can either try the jump and land on them, or you could run across them from the other side, try and do interesting things. Okay, this is starting to look kind of like a monster truck arena. Ish. Wait, I've just thought of another place we could put some jumps, so that if you want to come back to the Priuses, which of course you're going to want to destroy them properly, we could have another ramp over here, possibly. Yes, and then you can go and aim for the Pries. I think these ramps are maybe being a little bit ambitious with the ramps. I will have to give them a test and actually make sure that I've not been overly ambitious. That's starting to look like an arena. That's starting to look the part. I'm going to go quickly jump in and test it again, to make sure I don't want to have these jumps all placed sort of too far. I know the monster truck's quick. It's got good suspension, so it will hit the ramps and it will take a decent flight. Where are we? Okay, we're spawned in. Do I need to... No, it's saved it. Good. Right, run! While being shot to bits. Shall we take the... Who's shooting at me? You are... Oh, you're dead already. Okay, run! Run away. Oh, piss off. Leave me alone. I want to go to the monster truck in peace. Thank you. Yeah, my main concern is that the trucks are going to hit the ramp and they can lose a fair bit of speed. So these jumps may have been over ambitious. mean, to be fair, the cars do as well with this extreme ramp. I may put in. I have not really got the props to put in like smaller ramps to do kind of like little bumps. Yeah, I'm not sure what the other guys will think up for when doing a run, and I can only put in so many props and have them in so many ways. So it'll be up to creativity to think of a way of linking them together. How are we on the? Oh, that's pretty much perfect on the on the Prius crushing. Okay, well that works. I don't want to know what that thing does. We will save that for the for the video. So we come over here. We'll have to say that you've got to keep it on the runway. I can't put the props everywhere. And this one here. Yeah, I mean, there's an element of you will have to judge your speed. Okay, these jumps aren't too far for the trucks though. That's the important thing. The trucks will actually pick up speed pick up enough speed. This may be a tougher call. Ooh, it's kind of. Let's see. Okay, well, this one's going to be a bit tougher. We need a challenge. I don't want it to be too easy, so you're going to have to line. If you're going to go for this one, you've got to really line it up to get as much speed as you can. Yeah, it's definitely possible though. It's definitely possible. And then of course you've got to try and get on a neat landing. Now what about this one over here? This one here. Ooh dear, whoopsie. We've completely missed it. That's clever of us. I don't think those cars are going to do what I want it to do, but never mind. So we'll probably have to end up backing up to test this one out fully. And here we go. Over the jump. Ooh. I mean, you can try it. You can give it a go if you can make it. Good on you. Okay. Okay, I'm liking this. Once more for good measure. Right. Okay. I'm pretty pleased so far. As I said, I don't have a huge amount of obstacles to work with on here. There's not a huge amount of stuff to play around with. I'm thinking perhaps we could try a climb onto a container somewhere. I'll be honest, there's not actually. I thought this was a too larger area. Now I've started placing stuff down. It's probably about the right size, if I'm honest. See, I was thinking perhaps over here. There's not. I can't move these rocks. They're going to be very annoying. We could have like a little, well, not platforming bit, but Actually, I'm thinking that's doing the same job as that, effectively. Only we're using cars. What I'm going to do over here is get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, and then, oopsie, I don't want to do a trigger location. Props. We're going to have some containers that you can try and get on the top of, and then drive along them. Yeah, that makes sense to me. I think so. If we'd have containers like here, and then have a few along here. Oh, you could have a. No, I don't think. I think if you have a bit bigger gap, could it make it interesting? But honestly, probably not. I mean, the truck's either going to do it or it's not. There's no skill in getting it across any differently, is there? I don't think. So if we have some containers, well, maybe we could. Oh, here's an idea actually. What happens if we were to have containers? And then have like a gap in the middle, so that if you wanted to sort of string these together, you had to judge your speed. I like that. I like that. So if we were to have these, and then have props, and then we want a ramp somewhere. Whoopsie, ramp over here. We want to have them close enough so that if you just go flat out, it won't work. Basically, how is this ramp for height? Ooh, what about a medium ramp? Ooh, that could make it interesting. So that it's not quite. I don't think it'll actually get enough airtime, though, will it? No, it probably actually because I'm thinking the ramps are floating slightly in the air, so it'll drop it down. So if we were to have these, and then we were to have another one, so we kind of got sort of motocross bumps, just a little bit more extreme with some containers in the way, so that you could go for a nice sort of smooth pattern over these jumps. But if you get it wrong, you're going to mess up your run. It's going to look not so neat. That I like, if it works. If that works. That's yeah, we'll just give it a quick test to make sure that it's working on here. And then we've got the sprint to the trucks again. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with this arena. It's actually worked better than I perhaps initially thought. The area is big enough for there to be multiple stunts, but it's not too big. And the prop limit works out quite nicely that I can split it between actual proper vehicles and sort of wreckages of cars and so on. Right, I think this will be the final time I will take it for a test run, unless it's terrible, in which case, oh, something exploded. Please don't shoot any rockets at my trucks. Okay, you can do all your shooting and killing over there. Don't worry about me. I'm just going to play with a monster truck. Okay, that's good. Everybody understands everything. Right. Ah, dear. In we get into this thing. I think also when it comes to the video, we will definitely have like a practice time so you can go and design your route or whatever, come up with the route that you want to take, the stunts you want to do. Like maybe 5 minutes? Sounds good to me. Okay, we've eaten a Prius. So how are these for things? Oh yeah, it's actually about right. I mean, that was not particularly neat. So if we were a little bit slower over the first jump, you can then line it up to get a better run off the second one. Oops. And over the Priuses for good measure. Oh dear. always for good measure. Every stunt shall have to end with a Prius death, I think. So yeah, if you were a little bit slow over here, you can get a nice neat run like that over it. I'm not sure if we've got any backflipping areas, but that is to be invested. I think you may get one. You may get one off that thing if you can get it going up to it and flip over. I can't get the ramps to be any steeper than these, so yeah, I'll be relying on creative driving from people. You could be brave and try to do sort of two-wheeled stunts off the edge of these. Don't know how well that would work. Woo! Yeah, again, we don't have split ramps to work with. I wonder if you could make a split ramp. It's just giving me an idea. Can you make a split ramp to do a roll-off? I don't think we don't have a steep enough ramp to, like, this is fairly steep, but even if you had like a medium ramp alongside it, I don't think you could do it. I don't think a split ramp is viable in GTA 5. Otherwise, I would probably use it. Yeah, there we go. That is going to be my Monster Jam arena. I'm pretty pleased with it. There's only so much I can do, but there are some interesting stunts, I think, around here that people will have to get creative into the route that they take and what they do to the cars, etc. You can you can mess around and destroy some vehicles. A lot of green vehicles in this particular car park. It's just unfortunately we can't really sort of hold wheelies and hold it on two wheels particularly well, but I'm suitably satisfied with this. So there we go, and that is it for this GTA 5 build. I'm not sure when the actual thing will be done. It'll depend on when people are around, but at some point Monster Jam shall be coming. So thank you very much for watching, everybody, and until next time, goodbye.